So my reading goal for this year is 60 books. Some years it's been more, and some years it's been less. But for this year I chose to set my bar at 60. A lot of people when they hear about my reading goals look at me like I'm crazy. How can you read that much? I haven't read a book in 5 years. Well, good on you. But reading is important to me. Books are an integral part of my life, and I make it a priority to read as much and as often as I can. You see, reading allows me to gain more knowledge about the world and about myself from the comfort of my own bed, or couch, or bathtub. Really, it just lets me be a hermit and stay at home when I still feel like I'm accomplishing something most days. But this passion can sometimes get the best of me, because I buy a lot more books and collect way more than I'm actually reading. For example, I just bought 5 books a few weeks ago, all new, and all ones I've been wanting to read. But then, rather than, just picking up one of those books, I instead decided to reread the entire collection of SUSANNA KEARSLEY, my favorite author. SUSANNA KEARSLEY is a beautiful writer. She has a distinct style, a unique voice, and all of her books look absolutely awesome on my bookshelves, if I do say so myself. But what's really cool about her books is how there are 2 storylines happening at the same time, one in the present day and one set in the past. At some point, by some way or another, these 2 storylines come together, resulting in a beautiful resolution to both tales. But my favorite book out of all of her novels is The Rose Garden, which I first read back in January 2015. The Rose Garden is unique compared to the rest of her books because the 2 storylines become one as the main character travels into the past. But she has absolutely no control over it. Sometimes she's there for a day or maybe an hour, but no matter what, she is always pulled back into the present. But she goes into the past, and she meets a man, and they fall in love. And then it's up to her to decide if she wants to stay in the past to be with him, or if that's even a possibility and how she can make it happen. Why I love this book so much and why it means so much to me is because it introduced me to historical fiction. It allowed me to experience a part of history and learn about events that I had never heard about before in my entire life. It also immersed me in a fantastically beautiful and heartfelt romance between a woman of the modern age and a man who lived in the past, who knew where she came from and yet still accepted her for it. Yes, true love! It's a beautiful thing. And by reading this book, I have been inspired as a reader and as a writer. As a reader, I am now motivated to read more historical fiction set in various different time periods. It has also inspired me as a writer to take on the task of writing my own historical fiction novel. Maybe. Someday. But what it's inspired me most to do is to be more open-minded and to take everything in stride. Because just like in this story, regardless of what happens in the past, I control my future.